Hello and welcome to Training Tuesday, where we go through weekly tips and tricks to make your career just a little bit more awesome. Now, this week we are talking all about past experiences and how they give us the skills we need for the future. Now, one thing I hear a lot in my business is oftentimes people say to me that they're really focused on this thing that they want to do next and they cannot wait till they get there. So for example, I can't wait till I can start my business. This job I'm in now is slowly sucking the soul out of me. Or I can't wait until I can be in that next job because I'm really hating the team or the situation I'm on now. Now, the reality is every situation you're in is fully preparing you for something in the future. So for example, I originally came from the advertising world, and it's really interesting because back in 2012, I was setting up Facebook test and learn campaigns for the client that I worked on at the agency. And it's very interesting because these days, as I set up my own media campaigns for my own business, I use a lot of those skills that I learned 6 years ago. And this happens a lot. I hear it from people all the time. This connection I made, this person who I spoke to years ago somehow came back into my life. And I'm so glad that I have that relationship or that conversation or that skill. Now, this is probably happening to you too, even if you don't know it. And so if there is something, if you're feeling really anxious to get to the next thing, get to the next job, get to the next step in your business, wherever it might be, remember that where you're at right now is probably preparing you for this. So if you're feeling that kind of urge, I want you to take a second and write down all of the reasons that what you're doing now is preparing you for it. So for example, I'm really getting great experience as to what I never want again in a manager, or I'm learning a lot about how to set up this kind of work so that I'm the expert at it in the future. So remember, it's important to appreciate where you are and look for the next thing, but that doesn't mean that they're mutually exclusive. So if you do feel like you're constantly trying to learn or figure out where to get in your career, I also shared last week about 9 to Thrive, which is my group for professional millennial women who want more and are pretty badass. And really, that's a big community for this kind of work, because if you're feeling like I'm right on the cusp of getting to that next thing in my career and I don't know how to develop more of X, Y, and Z skill, that's exactly why I'm building this group. So you can not only ask me and have access to that and different learnings and tips along the way, but also have a community of other women. So you can say, hey, I'm moving into this field. Does anyone have experience that they can share and tell me about what else I need to do to make that leap? So if you haven't yet joined, and that does sound like a fit for who you are, this go-getter, doer, person who just takes the world by storm, join us. I'll post the link below. And it is for exactly that, to build not only the support from me, but more importantly, the support from each other and a community of this. So join us, and if you have any questions in the meantime, reach out, and happy working.